Dear AUCC members, esteemed government officials representing the United States, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan. We have everyone from Central Asia with us today, and we're very proud of it. And to each of you, the participants in our 2019 Annual Business Forum, I'm delighted to welcome you to this signature event here in Washington for the first time since 2015. As some of you will recall, we were in New York and Tashkent in 2017 and back to Tashkent in 2018 for our 25th anniversary with Secretary Ross. Now we're back in the nation's capital, here between the White House and the Congress, to celebrate our joint achievements, our common challenges, and to discuss our partnership plans with our members and the government of Uzbekistan and the United States to be successful in the future. We're committed to progress, we're committed to your success, and doing whatever we can through AUCC to help it happen. And today, as we've noted, we are going to make history in terms of our trade and investment relationships, because for the first time, we're welcoming the trade and investment officials from the Central Asian states. They are co-hosting with the government of Uzbekistan and the AUCC. They're joining us to demonstrate the growing regional potential that Uzbekistan has for cooperation, for unity, and for a huge market in Central Asia. And many of our members, including GM with its alliance with Uzauto, has already experienced that in supplying its products to Central Asia and beyond out of the Uzbek facility. So there's a huge marketing potential for the production facilities established in Uzbekistan that can really serve the region. On behalf of our members, many Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies, I extend a big welcome to all of the trade representatives and applaud their joint determination with Uzbekistan to turn Central Asia into one of the most progressive and attractive marketplaces globally. First, I do want to congratulate and thank our sponsoring members who've provided such generous support and really made this event possible. We are honored to represent CNH Industrial, one of the earliest and largest investors in Uzbekistan, and Caterpillar Zeppelin International, which has been active in Central Asia since the early days of independence, bringing the best equipment, technology to the mining industry from the very beginning. We're proud to have the world-renowned Visa as a member of our trade association, working on improvements to the banking system. The newest potential investor, John Deere, is active in Uzbekistan's growing industrial industry. We're also proud to have Gameco, the new member that's keen to help Uzbekistan with infrastructure maintenance and development. And my own law firm, White & Case, is one of the supporters here and has been a reliable friend of Uzbekistan for more than 25 years, now established in Tashkent. But we thank each of our supporting and sponsoring members for their support. It's really important to put on the tremendous event that we're putting on today. We had nearly 200 registrants. That's the level of energy and interest that Uzbekistan is now generating. Of course, we thank the building, and we thank you very much for your remarks this morning. You know, a famous proverb inspires us regarding our efforts in Uzbekistan, and it sounds simple, but it has a profound impact. Don't choose a house, choose neighbors. Don't choose a path, choose your traveling companions. As we pursue successful bilateral business, we all know that business cannot exist and thrive in isolation, nor can a company prosper and thrive in isolation. It must, to be successful, have reliable, trustworthy, and like-minded partners. Our members have been fortunate to have friends and support in Uzbekistan, and they've chosen us as a good platform for collaboration, for innovation, for partnership, for the advancement of projects that benefit our two nations in terms of our bilateral business relationship. And while we've seen increased global competition and alliances that favor countries other than the U.S., we are very appreciative of the increased U.S. support for the Made in America brand and for all that we can bring in terms of managerial skills, practice, to the evolving culture and really business culture in Uzbekistan. And we truly appreciate the trust and the confidence of the Uzbek people in our abilities. We also appreciate all we can learn from our Uzbek counterparts about their approach to business in Uzbekistan and the importance of community and friendship bonds. There is nothing better than face-to-face business with our reliable counterparts. Collectively, our goals are to do the best in business for both countries and for future generations. That's been our goal since 1993, and it is, in fact, continuing today. And today, I am extremely proud to represent one of the proudest and one of the top 3 largest trade associations, not only among the former Soviet Union, but also with the Eastern and Central European countries. Our members are committed to success and supporting Uzbekistan. I encourage all of you who are new in the audience to speak to some of our main members, all of our members, about the success that they've had in Uzbekistan. It will solidify your confidence in doing business there. It's of no surprise that Uzbekistan offers a stable environment for business, a gradual transition to a market economy, in evolving from where it was, and we've seen absolutely dramatic changes in the past 3 years that are really transformative with the elimination of the non-convertible currency. All of us know how important that is to stimulate businesses going forward. And President Mirziyoyev has really inspired dramatic legal change as well, and that's very important in terms of offering an international level of legal protections. For example, to facilitate and protect foreign investment, the government of Uzbekistan has signed the ICSID Convention for the Settlement of International disputes with over 50 bilateral investment treaties offering an international level of protection to covered investments. And most recently, under the president's leadership, and that, of course, of Senator Safayev, they've passed many transformative laws, including the law on combating corruption. Uzbekistan is keen to enforce the rule of law and further judicial and legal reform with the recent enactment on combating corruption, which is of critical importance to U.S. business. We can't do corrupt business. They don't want to do corrupt business, and they're putting energy and enforcement behind it to improve public administration, modernize procurement, and assure that things are running efficiently. The new law on public procurement was signed by the president and again offers greater transparency on procurement procedures. It's modeled on the UNCITRAL model law, which is the UN model law, and offers international level protections. And as recently as May 10, 2019, the new law on public-private partnerships and the whole regulatory framework was passed, and the Ministry of Finance is now determining the PPPs that will go forward. So Uzbekistan is open for business at an international level. And we have mobilized our resources and continue to increase our presence and show our commitment to the people of Uzbekistan and the people of the US. It creates jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. It enhances all of our ability to do business. And of course, what we know is that without help from each of you, it is exceedingly important to move forward with the strong voice that we have here in Washington and in Tashkent. So I do want you to join me to recognize and applaud the efforts who've really made a difference in the United States. I'm not going to name them all individually because I would certainly leave many out. But of course, our corporate members and members of the board and officers, we are exceedingly grateful for all the time you devote on a voluntary, unpaid basis to our energy and achievements. In the United States, the DOC has been tremendously supportive. As you will hear shortly, the Secretary is with us today. As you heard yesterday, Mark Edwards was here speaking to us in our USG segment. Assistant Secretary of State Alice Wells will be with us. The NSC has been supportive. USTR has been supportive. OPEC. Also the ADB and EBRD, and XM. None of us can do it alone, and we have such a good cadre of US government support. But in Uzbekistan, we have the absolute stars of the Uzbek government supporting us and working with us, and we are incredibly grateful to have Senator Safayev here, Minister Umarzakov here, Chairman Ikramov, the Ambassador Vakhavov, and all of our very special Central Asian guests from Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. It's their neighborhood, and it's our business community. So it's very important for each of you to greet them and establish a relationship. So all of you have really rendered incredible support. Over the last 2 years, we've signed over $7.5 billion in MOUs for new trade and investment going into Uzbekistan, coming out of Uzbekistan. We encourage the full implementation for each of them, and I know the leadership in Uzbekistan is committed. If there are problems, talk to Senator Safayev, talk to the minister, Deputy Prime Minister Ganeyev. All have this at the top of their agendas to see it improve and that we accomplish what we've both committed to. You know, and it's of central importance to promote the rule of law and our advancement. And there's just clear evidence of Uzbekistan's transformation and energy in that regard.